Hello there, everyone. Xantok here with Nonary Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Virtue's Last Reward, the second game in the Zero Escape series. Now, of course, as you know, this game's already been played on Twitch, and this is all just archive footage, so if you'll just give me a moment here, I'm going to jump back to a previous point in my timeline, and we'll continue with the game.
There's something... Nah, I guess there's a couple of things I want to double check.
Yeah, I want to snack hat now, too.
Well, one of them's not really significant, I guess.
Huh?
First off, this machine.
This fucking
We
thing.
didn't even end up using this thing, did we?
No.
I was just wondering what it was.
Well, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to answer that. Look at the side here. There's a name or something. IG Replicator. We just learned about that.
Sound like it makes copies of stuff.
Yeah, so far all things that we've got in the secrets have either been irrelevant or like they literally talk about it in the very next thing, or we had just learned about it in the puzzle or whatever.
Yeah. Probably copies IG, whatever that is.
Copies Instagram? That's weird. Who would want to do that? Any ideas?
Who knows? Ice cream by the gallon?
Alright, that was funny. Oh yeah, of course, it's ice cream by the gallon. This machine must be here so we can just make all the ice cream we want. Are you fucking nuts? You are one idiotic girl, you know that. I feel like you're supposed to be some kind of secret agent with Alice, but you're really not. You're the second person I've heard make the Instagram replicator joke. I mean, IG, it's I don't know what else IG could really stand for off the top of my head. It makes sense. In other words, an IG.
Oh, good one.
Oh, maybe it replicates idiot girls then. We could be that.
Hey, this isn't the time for stupid jokes. There's a helpless child back there in the infirmary who needs our help.
Dio, the fact that you are showing concern sounds like a joke, because that just doesn't seem like your character. IG88. Ooh, it's the... Oh, God. There's been 88 copies of Instagram. That's too many. It's 88 too many. He was right, of course, though. I hung my head in shame.
At any rate, as long as we don't know what IG means, we can't do anything with this machine, right?
That's right.
Icarus Guadalupe. It's a name.
Makes sense. On to the second issue. Sigma, you found a journal in some sort of vial in the safe, right?
I did.
The vial. Could you show it to me again?
Yep. But why?
I didn't really get a good look at it before.
I swear to God, Dia, if you break this vial, I'm just gonna go nuts and kill you.
You guys were in there so close I could barely see it.
Oh, that's always the worst. You think dinner's ready, they're just like, nope, it's not ready. It's like, oh, I hate that. The worst for me has just been like, okay, I put the food in the oven. It's gonna be ready now, right? It turns out I never turned the oven on. It's like, fuck. I hate that.
Was it really Accelavir?
For me, it means a few extra minutes of VLR. That's a good point. Yeah, definitely. As I spoke, I pulled the vial out of my pocket. See? It's written right here on the label. Axel's lever. Accelavir.
You really are an idiot.
Why?
Although I guess in this case the G in IG stands for guy.
What? I don't... This motherfucker. The words were barely out of my mouth when he moved. You son of a bitch! Before I could blink, the vial disappeared from my hand. Hey! What gives?
What are you doing?
This guy is the worst! Dio slipped the vial quickly into his
Oh,
coat.
don't worry. I'll keep it safe. I'll even give it back to you later.
Listen here, motherfucker. The secret cure to all diseases, purple Gatorade. I mean, it is the best flavor. No, not later. Give it back
I
now.
don't think so. If you want it back, you're gonna have to listen to my request.
Oh, I don't think it's a request.
Request?
Yeah, that's what I said. If you want this back, in the next AB game,
Choose ally? Yeah, I was gonna do
you have to
anyways.
choose ally.
Yeah, obviously. Ally, huh? Wait, is that why you took the medicine? To blackmail me?
Horrible! You're using Quark's life as leverage.
Ooh, I love that Bowser emote. That's great.
Well, I've got some really good reasons to do so.
Yeah, because you can kill me and then escape. Ally has been the first thing I've clicked in every route.
I'll be happy.
Not necessarily because that's what I'm doing every route, but I mean, generally in this kind of game, I feel like it's a terrible idea to make enemies and do betrays, like this guy has done. And I wondered if it was one of yours because I hovered over it and I was like, R. Riley Rage. Like, I wonder either it's yours or it's like there's somebody else that goes by Riley. Which, to be fair, it's the internet. There's a million Rileys, so I wasn't entirely sure. I didn't realize until they started to hurt that I curled my hands with a fist. None of my emotes are really, they're all placeholders. I had somebody who said they were going to make me some, but then it's a friend, and then I never heard back. Time's been busy, so I haven't really followed up on it, but I just got placeholders in there now. Eventually, I'd like to have some. I didn't realize until he started to hurt that he curled my hands with a fist. I think I read that part. If Dio would only give me an opening, I could sock him in the goddamn face.
I wouldn't try and take it back by force if I were you.
It's kind of surprised the R. Riley prefix wasn't taken. Yeah, that's fair. I think mine starts with like Zant, I think, or maybe Xanto.
You make any sudden moves and I'll smash it.
He patted his pocket gently.
Oh, and one more thing. Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Excelavir in here.
I hate this guy.
I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
What if I tell Luna to knock you the fuck out with some Soparil? Well, damn it.
That's not fair.
Oh, you changed your username recently? Okay, that makes sense.
This game isn't about compassion.
Oh, that's right. It's the first 6 characters. Like, I knew it's like, there's also a number, but I couldn't remember why. So yeah, my previous is like Xantok 1. It's like, yeah, I want the number in there. That ain't cool.
It's about one thing. How well you can manipulate people to your advantage. How unfair you can be.
How unfair would it be if I stabbed you? I'm gonna say, you know, Clover has experience with bladed instruments.
So, what are you gonna do? Ready to promise me you'll pick ally?
Also, part of the reason why I wanted to pick Ally for him, even though I know I'm at 1 BP, is I really want to see, does the game actually give you a death for if you go below it? I want to know if that actually is ever a scenario for that. So it's, you know, that morbid curiosity. Also, we gotta save Quark. Even if so far he's just kind of been a plot device. He hasn't really done anything in the timelines I played through.
Sigma!
What? I'm talking! Don't fucking yell at me, Clover. Jesus.
I knew you'd say it eventually. I'm glad you understand how this works. But don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
trying anything funny. Break your promise and... well, you know what happens.
Well, it certainly looks like you're gonna find out. I hope so. I like seeing all the fun secrets.
See you chumps later. I'm really looking forward to the next round.
Yeah, I bet you are. With one last self-satisfied chuckle. Also, if I'm dead, then... oh, I mean, I guess Clover would still be able to tell them about what he did. I just wouldn't be able to because I'd be dead. With one last self-satisfied chuckle, Dio strutted out of the room. I'm going to put this away.
Are you really going to do what he says?
I'm surprised I haven't cut myself with that yet, despite the amount of times that I tend to just pull it out. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to ally with him.
Sigma, you've only got 1 BP right now.
It's fine. I'll just tell myself another timeline where the medicine is. Be fine.
We choose ally, and he chooses betray.
I know. I will say though, it kind of takes a sting out of like negative consequences happening when you know that there's another timeline. Like, I have no fear of death because there's another timeline.
But that means...
Look, it's not like I want to, alright? If we don't do as he says, then he'll destroy the medicine. If he does that, then Quark, well, Quark
So
would die.
you're going to die to save his life? That's...
I mean, listen.
Why would you do that?
In all honesty, I was fucking terrified. My choice was far from a foregone conclusion. Well, we should get back to the upper floor. Everybody else is probably finished already. I bet they're waiting for us. I'm gonna wait for Clover's response. Ah, the good old floor transitions. Why do we have to go through this? This is gonna be the worst part of a speedrun, because you can't skip this. It's like, It's like, why do we go through these scenes? It drives me crazy, and I'm not speedrunning. It's like, lordy. Why do I have a message? I don't... People, why are you talking to me? Stop talking. Dear God, there are a lot of messages. Stop it. No. People finally want to fucking play games. It's a day that I can't play games. Really? Come on. Go figure.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
Dio, did you fucking do it again?
Sorry.
Yeah, you fucking prick.
I went ahead and cracked it open a bit early.
Dio, listen. I hate you. And one of his hands was a moon key. He twirled it around like a veteran gambler, grinned, and slid it back into his pocket.
You don't mind, right?
You know, what I wouldn't mind is if you were the next person to drop dead.
I figured you and Clover would get up here right away. Besides, I thought it'd be best to get this done soon before you lose your nerve.
How are you liking the game? Fucking great. I love the first game, playing through it, and this one is just like, hits you right away with everything going on. It's like, oh yeah, you're like, you start out pretty much remembering, it's like, oh, I remember another timeline, I haven't even done anything yet. That's interesting. And we are now, I don't want to pull up the flowchart yet, but with this is like stream 5, I want to say, of this game. So we're getting, you know, a decent amount in.
I don't know about you. I'm really looking forward to the next round.
Yeah, me too. Let's see if you actually have the balls to kill me. I glanced around the warehouse. The ride keeps getting wilder. Man, hell yeah. Alice and Kay were back. As was Fi. And, of course, Clover. Where are Tin Miyoji and the rest of them?
In the infirmary.
Makes sense.
Carry Quark to one of the beds. Ten Miyoji and Luna are looking after him.
Hey guys! Dio has something. You should probably knock him the fuck out.
What's he doing? Well, it's hard to say. He seems to be sleeping soundly, but beyond that, there's really no way to know.
Dumb hair. Out of my eyesight.
Right.
So what was your room, Sigma?
It was a lab.
Is that so?
Yep.
Did it look like the kind of place where they'd be researching viruses and DNA and those kinds of things?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, it did. Was there any of that Excelavir?
Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Excelavir in here. I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
My eyes flicked the Dio for a moment. No. Nothing. Hey Dio, do you know? I mean, he only made the deal with me. Clover didn't agree to a deal. Besides me, though, Clover did bite her lip.
I see.
So, how'd it go with you? Find anything interesting? Vi only shook her head. With a unison of movement that almost looked choreographed, Allison Kay shrugged.
Where does that leave us? We still got about 40 minutes left until voting ends.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a little curious about that lab you found. I thought I might go take a peek at it.
That's probably a good
I'll
idea.
show you the way then.
And she can tell Alice when they're
That'd be
alone.
wonderful.
I think I'll go have a look at the room Alice Kay and Tenmyoji found. Never know. Maybe you missed something. Perhaps there's some Excelavir hidden somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. What a fucking bastard.
And I shall take you there.
What about you two? Where are you going?
I'll just probably go to all 3 rooms, because that's usually what I do. Well, I think I'll start by heading over to the infirmary to see how Quark's doing.
Then I will too.
Glad that's settled.
She nodded to Clover, and they disappeared through the magenta door. Dio and Kay followed a few footsteps behind. I'm surprised Dio's not sticking with either me or Clover to make sure we don't say something. That seems like an amateur move on his part. Okay, then. Guess we should be going to.
Hold on. Show me that journal first.
Oh, okay.
Dio told me about it.
When?
You wouldn't tell me anything about the lab, except that you found a journal with, his words, some sort of bullshit language. You said you had it, so I was hoping I could take a look.
That's right, because you know Latin. One sec. I dug the journal out of my pocket and handed it to Phi. She began to flip through the pages, her eyes quickly scanning each one.
This is Latin.
Yep. Latin? You mean you can read it?
Yeah, with time and a dictionary.
So, in other words, no.
Pardon me for not being able to translate a dead language on the fly. This looks like some kind of research log. It's not going to be some sort of, I took the dog for a walk today. It was nice kind of stuff.
Imagine.
I can understand a little of it, mostly conjunctions and things like that, but most of these words I've never even seen before.
You know, it's real hard to tell how far someone is in a game with time travel. That's fair. Like, I can bring up the flowchart, but I don't want to see exactly where I am at this point, because, actually, no, actually, I think I can, because I haven't gotten to, yeah. Right now it's actually safe, because I just know that I'm on one of these paths. Oops. So yeah, this has been our progress. We started out going to the cyan door. I did ally, so we went down to the blue. Then when I did betray, after that we did green next and then red. And I'm at these parts, and I've unlocked these two, or no, I unlocked these. Or no, I thought I unlocked something. Yeah, I know I unlocked this, because I found the medicine whiz. I guess. What were these? Oh yeah, those are planting the bomb. Who planted that? That's right. Couldn't remember for sure. Which version of that I need to play? The Steam version. That's what I'm playing here as well. So yeah, this is where we're at. And then, I'm guessing this is going to be the ally route, because I'll just fucking die. And that's probably the betrayed out, I'm going to assume. Then suddenly, she stopped.
Wait,
What's up?
I can read this one. Page 216.
Yeah, so I didn't get to do Sudoku, unfortunately. I'd like Sudoku, so a bit of a shame that I couldn't.
This isn't
But,
research notes. It looks like a personal entry.
like, I feel like they could have still done it, but I understand why they didn't.
Don't rush me. This is gonna take a minute. Interesting. All right, I think I got it.
Cool. Tell me.
It looks like they're talking about Radical 6.
What? Why are they talking about
I'm
that?
not sure. Let me read it to you. Keep in mind I'm paraphrasing.
When the body is infected with Radical 6, the processing speed of the brain is reduced. Okay, so we learned about that in the secret files. If we assume the brain currently operates on a one-to-one basis with regards to time, Radical 6 reduces this to 1 to the square root of 1/6, or approximately 1 to 0.408. I'm 12 hours in? That was like 6... I should be more than 12 hours in. Of course, I've had some struggles with some of the puzzles, so maybe that's part of what slowed it down a little bit. This means that for each second, because I thought this was like the 5th stream, and I normally stream for about 4 hours. This means for each second that passes outside, the patient feels that only 0.408 seconds have passed inside. Therefore, when 1 second has passed inside, approximately 2.45 seconds, or square root of 6 seconds, have passed outside. In other words, when 10 seconds pass in the real world, a patient infected with Radical 6 would feel as if only 4 seconds had passed. This is why the virus has been termed Radical 6. Radical is another term for what is also known as the root operation, the function inverse to the taking of a power. In a less mathematical sense, it can also be used to refer to something that is extreme or severe. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. The exact cause of this is unclear, and although there is as of yet no direct link between suicidal urges and the reduction in mental processing speed, many believe that they are not unrelated. I mean, it makes sense to me. Those infected with Radical 6 perceive the world to be moving at a fever pitch, as if it were a video cassette being fast-forwarded. God, that'd drive me nuts. For instance, although the patient believes that only 10 seconds have passed, in fact, 24.5 seconds have passed. Oh, God. Given this increased speed of input, maintaining the ability to observe and reason would become a Herculean task. One theory holds that the disparity in time perception causes the brain to be flooded with massive amounts of information. Unable to keep up, it begins to fail. Whatever the cause, the infected invariably attempt to take their own lives, which is arguably the most terrifying aspect of this virus. Research suggests that a targeted antiviral could kill or at least disable Radical 6, but we've been unable to develop one. It seems our best hope now is to harvest antibodies from someone with a natural immunity to the virus. Thus far, however, we've been unable to locate a suitable subject. So I've continued my efforts to discover an alternative means of treatment, which is what led to Accelavir, I'm assuming. Given my current rate of progress, I predict that I will have a workable treatment within a decade or two. Oh. It is my fervent hope that humanity will be able to survive that long. The bodies of those dead from suicide are piled up along the roads leading into and out of town. The entire area reeks with the stench of decay, and the sky is filled with the constant buzzing of flies. At times, their swarms are so thick that when it passes, it feels as if a cloud has gone over the sun. Gabe, listen, I need to eat when I'm done here, so please. Every day, I see more crows and rats are everywhere, feeding on the dead. Ironically, the only healthy-looking creatures are the stray cats, who have grown fat on a plentiful rodent diet. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters, and I am getting a phone call. I don't know how many were saved, but I fear only a handful. Their survival is the only hope that remains for the human race. Oh Lord, please, let their future be a bright one. Are we going to be the last reward for virtue? Or something? I don't know. There's got to be something with that title, right? That is a lot of information. Well, now I know what the virus does to you, though. If you get infected, your brain slows down by the root of 1/6. That's what, about 40%?
That isn't the important part. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide.
Yeah, that part's bad. I wish you luck for when you get to 0 time limit. That game's certainly an experience. I'm looking forward to it. I have a brief idea of how I want to, like, when I get to that game, because I'm going to do, like, obviously I'm doing this game, then I want to do, like, 2 other games, kind of to determine what they'll be, and then I'll get to the 0 time limit. I don't like doing, like, all of one back to back. I like to get, like, do a few things in between, which is why I did a couple games between this one and 999. But we'll get there. We'll absolutely get there. Yep. You're right. That would explain why Quark was, well, trying to kill himself.
There are 2 other things in here that worry me.
God, now somebody else sent me a message. Oh, that's bad.
First, the part about how they haven't managed to develop a treatment for it yet. What do you make of that?
What am I supposed to make of it? Maybe they just hadn't found one when this journal was written? I mean, from what we know, there's a drug called Excelavir that cures it.
Exactly. But in the journal it says it might take 20 years to make something like that.
Which makes you wonder how long we've been fucking asleep. Because it also looked like we were on a moon base. At least I'm assuming that's where we were when we saw that little thing on the moon. Assuming it was the moon. I'm pretty sure it was the moon. Been a week. I don't remember. Hold on a second. I'm getting confused. When was this thing even written?
December 29th. No year.
So, to be fair, it could have been 20 years ago from when we were kidnapped. Well, I mean, there's no way it was written this year.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, moving on. The second concern I have is about the underground shelters it mentions. The newspaper article said something about quarantining people, too. After we read it, we all thought the same thing. What if this was one of those quarantine facilities?
Yeah.
But this journal seems to suggest the opposite. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters.
You're trying to say that this place might be one of those underground shelters, which would mean we're all supposed to be uninfected. But then Quark happened. We would have been thrown in here to keep us safe.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to say for sure at this point, but it seems possible.
But where does the dead lady factor in? And Quark's been infected, right?
And maybe the virus got in somehow.
Well, that would be bad.
Just think about it for a minute. If this is one of those shelters, a lot of things start to make sense. Maybe we've been here for a long time. Like, maybe they put us to sleep somehow. Made us sleep for years, maybe even decades.
I mean, we do know that there's that room with the cryo sleep
While we were
pods.
sleeping, the pandemic that the newspaper article talked about happened.
But I don't think there was...
Had this journal made this entry?
I don't think there was enough for all of us, though. Maybe you could play a Paradise Killer in between. It's kind of like Ace Attorney, but Vaporwave and one long case. I'm not familiar with that, so I'm going to write it down, and then I'll look it up when we're done. If I can read my handwriting when I'm done. Maybe I'll just check the chat when I'm done. That might be smarter.
Right. It's all just speculation, but...
I do like Ace Attorney, though. No, that doesn't make sense. I mean, it seems like a pretty plausible scenario, but... we were all captured before the pandemic started, right?
Yeah.
And how would they have put us to sleep for that long? How would they have known to do that? But most importantly, why the hell are we playing the Nonary game at the point of this place to save us? Well, you see, when you put a bunch of people, it was supposed to be like an underground safe space, and then there's some kind of robot or program that's telling you to kill each other. Where have I seen this before? Throwing a bunch of people into a game that might kill them was a pretty weird way to protect them from a pandemic. And then, of course, there's Uchikoshi's other games if you want some more VLR vibes. I'm guessing that's the guy that made this game, or the director or some such. The way I get... just kind of like to go over like how I got into these games.
Yeah, you're right.
A small Discord server that I'm part of with a group of friends. I ran a poll letting them nominate games and then vote on what game they wanted to make me play and stream. And 999 is what ended up being the winner. And I loved it so much, I'm just like, I'm gonna play more of that shit. Which is how we got to here. Last time we ran that poll, because I've ran it twice, Bug Fables won, and I got about halfway through before I started to feel kind of,
I think we should see if we can find anything else.
It was the stealth segment that got me. 99 is literally the best game you've ever played? I mean, it's fucking amazing. Every year I like to make a list of top 10 games that I played for the first time that year. In 99, I think ranked... Was it number 3? Or number 2? It was top 3. Number 1 was Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because I fucking loved it. Yeah, Keller Jelly here, he was one that nominated 999 for that poll. And, I mean, you say he's got a 2-for-1 deal. You're going to get a 3-for-1 deal because I'm going to play the third game. Fi had barely finished speaking, though, before she took off for the magenta door. Yeah, Ozza, don't worry, I still have 13 Sentinels in mind. I haven't forgotten about it. I'm going to get there. I promise that. It's going to happen. Hey, weren't you come to the infirmary with me?
My mind.
Wow,
You
rude.
can tell me about Quark later.
Okay, but what are you doing? And with that, she poof. She was gone. Man, I let out a long, tired sigh and started off toward the infirmary. How's he doing?
He seems to be stable, as far as I can tell.
Good. Now listen, I need to tell you about Dio.
Still sleeping.
I see. Mind if I have a look?
Please, go ahead.
I made my way around the partition to the side of Quark's bed. The journal and the thing Fi and I had talked about would definitely need to be addressed. But for the moment, the AB game was what I needed to concentrate on. Lives were at stake. Mine. And Quark's. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Yup, they sure do. If the journal was telling the truth, then as soon as the aesthetic wore off, Quark would go insane again. And what if we weren't able to restrain him a second time? What if he managed to kill himself before we got to him? Or perhaps he'd just get out of the infirmary and go hide somewhere. On the other hand, it wasn't like we could keep anesthetic. That's a word. We can't keep putting him under anesthetics forever. He can't sleep for his whole life. There was only one way to save Quark, and that was with Excalibur. And fortunately, Dio had stolen it. If we wanted to get it back, Clover and I would have to vote ally. But if I did, there was an excellent chance I would end up dead. The question was then, what to do? Sacrifice myself to save Quark? Or keep quiet about the danger he was in to save myself? It was so faint, I almost didn't hear it.
Grandpa. Grandpa.
Uh-oh. He shifted a little, then fell silent again. It was enough, though. What on earth had I been thinking? How could I have even considered letting a child die in my place? Suddenly, my cheeks felt hot with embarrassment and disgust. That I had considered letting Quark die, even for a minute, was pathetic. There's only one choice. There had only ever been one choice. No way was I going to leave Quark to die. My hands tightened into fists as I looked down at him. Any uncertainty I'd felt before was gone. I knew what I had to do.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Oh, shit.
All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Looks like it's almost time. You two should head back.
What about you?
Not going. I'm worried about Quark.
But you're a solo. If you don't vote...
I'll automatically ally. I know. I heard the voice on the intercom just like you.
The mechanics for the whole game in a game here with the whole AB game, I just find those so fascinating. What are you going to do if Kay and Alice vote betray?
Nothing, I suppose.
I mean, you'll just die.
That means I lost that round.
No, it means you'll die.
I'd just be voting ally anyway. You know who my opponents are, right? Alice only has one BP left.
I thought he did too. I'm getting timelines mixed up. He's not at 1, I guess. That's right, no he's not, because he betrayed us. Duh. Fucking idiot.
If I pick betray and they chose ally, I'd kill her. I'm not so desperate to escape that I'm gonna kill someone for it. And even if I was, I can't leave Quark behind. You see? Doesn't matter if I go into the AB room or not. My vote's the same either way.
You always remember watching 30 seconds of doors opening and that moving locations animation. I hate the moving locations animation. It's so annoying. Played Resident Evil 1 for the first time this year, and there's so much door opening in that one as well. Haven't played the Resident Evils, but I did watch the whole series this year. And yeah, the first game, not only with the doors, but with just the angles for every room. God. I would fail that game too much and I would get frustrated. Tim Miyoji's mind was made up. Trying to persuade him to leave would have been pointless. Alright. Take care of Quark.
Of course. You worry about yourself.
Let's go. Luna and I headed out of the infirmary, leaving Tim Miyoji and Quark behind. When we got to the warehouse, we found everyone else waiting for us. Well, not quite everyone. One other person was missing. Hey, where's Dio?
Take a look at the doors.
Oh, that bastard. They're all closed. When we came in here before, the one on the far right was open.
And that would mean...
that he went in, I guess.
Exactly.
That fucking bastard. He'd probably been worried I might try and take the Excelsior from him by force, so he'd hidden himself in the AB room. What a coward. I'd made up my mind to choose ally, no matter what. But a part of me had still considered trying to jump Dio if he dropped his guard. Yeah, I would have been all for that. Now he'd made sure I wouldn't get the chance to try.
Where's Ten Miyoji?
Oh,
Luna explained Tim Miyoji's choice.
I see. Well, I guess that means I don't have to worry about him picking betray.
You don't?
right. What will you guys be choosing then?
Ally, of course.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Because my BP is 6, I assume.
Yes.
Ah,
As long
that's
as
fair.
Ten Miyoji votes ally, I can't choose betray. If I do, K's BP will go up to 9.
But what if he forces you?
What was that laugh?
You needn't worry. I would never do something so crass.
Really?
Of course.
Then you don't need to go in there.
Excuse me?
It's true.
Alice can vote by herself. Then we don't have anything to worry about, right?
Well,
Like, that was the most robot-y laugh ever. Like, come on. Like, they would accuse me of being a fucking robot, but I think we know who it
I
is.
apologize, but I'm afraid I can't agree to that.
Why not?
I just can't. Shall we go, Alice?
Hey, hold on a minute there.
Kay continued briskly toward the AB room as if he simply hadn't heard Phi. Alice scrambled to follow him, perhaps concerned that he would lock her out. Almost seconds later, disappeared into the third room from the left. Maybe you're all robots. You know, I had that brief thought, but we've seen Alice bleed red. So I don't think she's a robot. And I don't think Clover's a robot. But I don't know. Maybe the true robot was the friends we made along the way. All I had to do, I saw maybe the true, and I was like, I know how this is fucking ending. God damn it. Almost seconds later, they disappeared into the third room from the left.
I hope Alice is going to be okay.
Well, there's nothing we can do now. If Kay told the truth, she'll be fine.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Time's almost up. Come on, Luna.
Right.
They headed off at a trot toward the second room from the right, and were soon out of sight inside it. All right, Clover. Time for us to go.
Oh, okay. Right behind you.
I sighed to myself and headed toward the leftmost AB room. We might be about to die. The enigmatic game will now begin! Let's do it.
What are you gonna do?
I don't really have a choice, do I? There's only one thing I can do. I'm going to choose ally.
You can't! You'll die!
You don't know that. It could be fine. Can you kill a robot like that? I don't know. Let's find out. Just because Dio told us to ally doesn't necessarily mean he's going to pick betray.
You really think a jerk like that is going to choose ally if
No,
he doesn't have to?
I don't.
No. No way. He's got 6 BP right now. If he picks betray, then he'll have 9 points.
Well, what about you?
Huh?
You've got 6 BP too, right? If Dio chose ally and we chose betray, then you'd have 9 BP.
What? No, that's not... I didn't even realize that until you brought it up.
Honestly, I believe that.
I'm just trying to tell you that Dio is going to pick betray. That's who he is.
I mean, I agree. That's who he is. Clover, listen. I gotta pick ally to get the true ending. Yes! Yes! And after deciding that I've made up my mind, that's who I am. The only choice is ally. It's the only chance we have to get that medicine back.
That's why Dio called you an IG. What makes you think he's going to give us the Excelivir, even if you do what he says?
I mean, if he doesn't give it to you after I die, then you can just tell everybody and Kay can knock him the fuck out. Easy, simple. Maybe he won't, but I can guarantee that he'll destroy it if I pick betray. That's who he is.
Fine. If you aren't gonna listen to me, then I guess I don't have a choice. I'll be pushing that button.
I'm sorry? What? Before I realized what was going on, Clover ducked past me and ran toward the voting machine. No! I'm the protagonist! You stop that! I snatched her by the arm and hauled backward with all my strength.
Ow!
Sorry. Guess that was a little too hard, huh?
Hey! What do you think you're doing?
Stopping you from stopping me.
You can't just throw a girl around like that.
Well, you're the one who tried to trick me.
But you're gonna die.
We all die eventually.
Dio's going to kill you.
Ah!
You can't do this.
I'll be fine.
I don't want you to die.
Gotta do it.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex's game polling closes.
It's that more part of me that's like, but I want to know what happens. Back just in time, Riley. It means a lot to hear you say that, though, Clover. I give her my best reassuring nod and turned to face the polling machine.
3, 2, 1.
Let's find out. Are we going to die? Is he going to click betray and kill us? And are we a robot that can't be killed? We might find out the answer to one other or both of these questions.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed.
Oh, I agree. This is a great moment for Clover.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Hey, either way, I gotta see all the timelines anyways. We would do this no matter what. Like, I felt like shit when I betrayed Clover in one of the endings, where she wasn't even present to vote for. I felt awful for that. I was like, gotta see the endings. Clover and I stepped out of the AB room. Honestly, you mentioned Alice and Lotus? Okay, it doesn't help when neither of them wear much clothing. Because I had a similar thought. It's like, I was thinking, it's like, oh man, characters kind of remind me of this character, kind of remind me of that. Like, K and 7. I was like, and Alice reminds me of Lotus. Gee, I wonder why that is. And then Phi is the Santa for me. Obviously, Clover's Clover. For several long moments, we just stared at one another. Words weren't necessary. Everything she would have tried to tell me, I could already see in her eyes. That's true. Clover did murder us in 999. And Excelsior spelled axe lover. Yep. Well, Clover, let's go. I turned and headed towards the results screen.
Sigma.
I heard her behind me, her voice barely louder than a whisper. The choice was already made. I stood up straight and kept walking. I want to know so bad. And hey, everyone will know, I might be dead at this time, but everyone's going to know that Dio is the biggest scumbag. Ha-ha! Well, there it is.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
Oh, and Kay also betrayed... Kay, you son of a bitch! You Really? Can you give me a few minutes? Just a few minutes.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What?
Real quick, dog needs to go out. They're kind of being insistent. Okay, let's see this shit. Let's see what fucking happens. I'm excited.
Sigma's BP is...
Negative.
Yep. Suddenly, all eyes were on me. I felt their weight, but stood my ground. It was the result I had expected. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. I didn't have to wait long. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be anesthetic Soparil. I blinked. My vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma! Hang on! Hey! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
no, oh no, oh no.
Trying to open my eyelids was like trying to lift sheets of lead. My eyes had lost the ability to focus, but I could make out a blur that had to be Dio in front of the number 9 door. That bastard. Damn it. You'll keep your promise, god damn it. I groaned, and with a Herculean effort lifted my head, and then my sluggish body off the floor. Ooh! Every step was a battle. Whenever I shifted my weight, my muscle threatened to give out again. But somehow, I forced myself ahead, a single thought burning in my mind. I would reach Dio. 9 door looking like Gygas right now? Oh, hell yeah. And then at last... Oh! Oh, the distorted Dio looks so funny! The smudge of color faded into a recognizable son of a bitch. I threw my hand in front of him. Give it back. Give me the medicine.
Give it back. Don't act like it's yours. Are we supposed to share everything we find here?
I don't care. Just hand me the medicine.
What are you talking about?
We found the Excelivir in the laboratory.
And Dio stole it.
What?
You mean he has it? Right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So?
I kept my promise. Now, you? I wasn't a fool, and I knew the kind of person Dio was. There was a chance he wouldn't give us back the Excelivir. If he didn't, then I'd die with my hands around his throat. I gathered as much of my mind as I could and got ready to attack.
Fine.
Impressed. Not quite what I had been expecting.
Here.
With a shrug, he pulled the vial out of his pocket and tossed it toward me. I caught it and pulled the tiny glass bottle to my chest, worried I might drop it. The label said, unmistakably, Excelivir. It was the real thing. Oh, and here we go again. Clover, take it. I held it out toward her.
Right.
The distortions are funny, I gotta say. She quickly tucked it into her pocket. Good. Now at least Quark will be alright. With that, the last of my strength left me, and I dropped to my knees.
Sigma, are you okay?
Definitely not. Tiny head.
Sigma! Sigma!
Well, I guess this is it.
First is the Socoril, which puts you to sleep. 9 minutes later, the tubocurarine is injected, numbing your respiratory muscles. I guess you could say it'll really take your breath away.
9 minutes. Once the Soapero was injected, I had 9 minutes until the muscle relaxant followed it. About 4 minutes had already passed, which left me with 5, give or take a little. In 5 minutes, I would be dead. What could I do in 5 minutes? How could I save myself? I gave a raspy, quiet laugh. Even with death staring me in the face, I seemed to be determined to struggle right up until the very end. Okay, Sigma. You can do this. Clinging desperately to what little consciousness I had left, I racked my brain for any possible solutions. How could I save myself? How? There had to be something. Every problem, no matter how difficult, has a solution. There's always another option. Hopelessness is a state of mind. I just had to think. Think, think, think. If there was a way out, I'd find it. Well, actually, it's a video game. Actually, it's not that hard to find. You can probably just download it. I wasn't ready to give up on life yet. There had to be an answer. That is not what I expected. I thought we were going to just straight up die. Curious. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and end this episode of Virtue's Last Reward here. I'm sure some things happened. People probably talked. Maybe we saw the puzzle or learned an exciting revelation or so. I'm not sure. This all happened for me months ago. But hopefully, it was a good episode. At least I had a lot of fun, playing through it. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.